I'm Judy Shaw for NYSE Floor Talk. Joining me today is Marcela Martin. She is the CFO of Squarespace, and Marcela is here today attending the NYSE IPO Summit. Marcela, it's great to have you. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me today. Really appreciate the invite.
My pleasure. Now, Marcela, Squarespace joined the NYSE community last year via a direct listing. Can you share with our viewers and your fellow CFOs what the process was like and why this was the right path for your company?
Sure. Yes, we launched last year and we decided to go through a direct listing because Squarespace has a very strong financial model. So our business is a SaaS business for the most part and delivers high unlevered free cash flow margins. So basically we didn't need the cash. And that, in that way, the direct listing fit us really well. And the other reason why we did want to go through a direct listing instead of a traditional IPO is because we wanted to make sure that our existing shareholders and our employees didn't have any issues with lockups and having to wait time. We wanted them to enjoy the liquidity from day one because they have been the ones that have been working the hardest to get Squarespace to this amazing moment of becoming a public company.
All right, now can you give us the insider perspective on what you wish you knew ahead of the direct listing process? And because you were a direct listing, was there anything different in terms of messaging or financials that you felt was most important to highlight to potential investors?
Sure. It's a very interesting question because I was surrounded by really great advisors, and I think including the New York Stock Exchange, where you guys being partners of us the way through, and particularly as we were launching the stock. I think that the only thing, like if I look back and I think what could be the one thing that I wish I would have more is probably time, because I don't think that I will ever feel satisfied about how many times you can tell the story. It's such a great story, the one from Squarespace, that I wish I could have told the story more. Squarespace was not very active in the secondary markets because, as I explained earlier, the unlevered free cash flow margins are really great, so we didn't need cash. But it turned out to be really good, the process, the direct listing process. But with more time, more storytelling, I think that it always, things can get better.
All right, now Marcela, tell me, in what ways can the IPO process be transformational rather than just transactional for companies?
Look, I think I'm a firm believer that it was actually more transformational, and it is transformational rather than just a pure financial event. I think becoming a public company comes with a great degree of honor, and it's amazing that after 18 years of history of Squarespace, we could get to this moment that furthers our mission with entrepreneurs and creators around the world. I think one of the things that I value a lot is, the great feedback loop that you have with investors and with research analysts, that sometimes you miss that if you are in a private market.
Okay, now let's think back. It's May 2021. Can you recall exactly where you were when you submitted your confidential filing, and what was the feeling?
Oh, wow. Yes, I recall when I was, because I had to do the entire IPO on a Zoom call because, as you know, we were under tough restrictions with the pandemic. And the feeling was amazing, a lot of butterflies, and really proud and honored to have the chance to take this company public with these 1,200 amazing employees that, shareholders that made that possible. Mm-hmm. But a great moment.
Okay, at the summit today, we've been talking about navigating the new normal. Mm-hmm. As you think about the evolving role of the CFO, what do you think will be most important? Rethinking leadership, ESG strategy, and final disclosures or financial disclosures, or being a digital supporter of the business?
I think that all of the above. I would put ESG and leadership probably at the top because first, as we are coming out of the pandemic, there are different ways of working right now. And we as leaders, we need to make sure that we understand how that impacts the workforce, because at the end of the day, organizations is people, and the changes in the ways of working have impacts in different ways. So helping our workforce is important, helping navigate all of what's going on. ESG is of utmost importance to me. I am very pleased to see that these matters are being taken to these levels. And in Squarespace, we are committed, to implementing very strong sustainability and corporate governance within our business operations and our business strategy.
Marcela Martin, CFO of Squarespace. Marcela, thank you so much for joining me on Floor Talk.
Thank you so much for having me, Judy.